There's Anyfin. We're live. Alrighty, so we are live at the archery range today, and I brought both my bows with me. I have the traditional recurve, I have the compound. We're just gonna mess around, talk about some stuff, just get a little practice in, and take you guys along for the ride. I have not unpacked the truck yet, so all my archery stuff is still in the truck, which this archery range is real nice because the truck's right there, and you turn around, the archery range is right here. You don't have to do much traveling to get to where you're going. So yeah, I'm just gonna get some stuff out. Hopefully some people filter in as we're getting everything ready. I'll set you guys up so you can see the target. So as people come in, they know what we're doing. Bob is driving and listening. Sweet. Here's the case for the compound. Raptor Will's in here. Bruce Morris is in here. Thanks for coming in, everybody. So, compound bow in this case, I'll get that out, and we'll start with that, I suppose. I have my normal set of arrows. These are Easton 6.5, 340 spine, 29-inch, 100 grain field point. These are my typical set of arrows that I shoot, but unfortunately, I've been having some, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, there you go, some fletchings tear on them as I'm shooting groups, and sometimes one of my arrows will get tight enough in there and it'll hit one of the other fletchings. So I've broken a couple of these veins, I guess they're called, instead of fletchings for compounds. So I bought some of these cheaper 350 spine arrows from Walmart. I think they're pretty much the exact same weight, the exact same number of grains. I'm going to try these out today, see if they fly the same as these do, so that way I can supplement them. They were cheap, so I just wanted to give them a try. Bought a couple of those. And then we'll get out all my 6.5s as well. I also, by request of, I believe it was Off the Hook Outdoors, he suggested getting an arrow puller for pulling out some of these arrows if they happen to get stuck in the wood. Obviously, using the pliers to pull out the field points like I was doing in that short is a different thing, but I did get an arrow puller, so we can try that out if we happen to make a terrible shot, which hopefully we're not going to do. Ozarks is in here at lunch. Sweet, glad to have you. Here's the bow. It's a target style compound bow. Pull out the rest of my arrows. Here's my release. And we'll pocket that. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna go toss the case back in the truck, and then we'll get to shooting. Looks like Bruce has a question. I will take care of that in just a moment. Cupid, how's it going? I don't think I've seen you on my channel before. Nice to have you. Bruce says, what kind of compound bow do you shoot? Just wondering. So, this is an oldie. This is from 1996. It's a target style compound bow, but it was given to me for free by my girlfriend's dad. I'm very appreciative of it. It gives me a good opportunity to have a low price opportunity to try some stuff out, see how I like it, and then in a year or so, if I want to get one that I could do some hunting with and is more set up to my personal preferences, this gives me an opportunity to know what I want. This is a PSE Mach 5 Carbon 2. It's really, really long. It's set up for target style archery, but it is good enough to mess around with and try some things out. So there you go. Cupid says I sub. Thank you very much. WA Fishing, you'll still have to let us know. I know my uncle was saying that. I imagine that is Washington, but you'll have to let us know if it stands for something else. It's nice and sunny out today. All right, gotta get my release on, and we'll take a couple shots downrange. I'm also at some point gonna get the GoPro set up behind me, because for the video where I talk about my first experiences shooting a compound bow, for those of you guys who don't know, I typically shoot recurve. I am fairly new to the compound, so I'm making a video about my experiences coming from recurve and transitioning into some compound stuff, which I've never done before. I need some clips for some different practice sessions. I'm trying to get a couple clips from every practice session that I do with the compound bow until I hit my accuracy goal, which once I hit that goal is when I'm going to end the video. But I'll do that in a little bit. We're at 20 yards, which should be pretty good. I was doing well with that the other day. And we're just gonna put some shots downrange and see how that works out. Outdoor Fam, what's up, buddy? I usually see and talk to you on fishing lives, but been doing archery my whole life. Cool to see you shooting. It is it's a fun thing. I haven't been doing it for too long. My grandpa always had a bow, and I would shoot that every time I was there, but it was very inconsistent. Consistently, I've been doing it for like 7-8 months with the recurve, and the compound is new within like the last month. So yeah, I like it. It's fun stuff. Got the release on, gonna get some shots downrange, get warmed up, and see how things go today. Raptor says, hoping to get a golden rainbow trout this trout season, but they're typically few and far between. I've only ever got one. I know Bob, who is listening, he's not chatting because he's driving. I know him and his family have got a bunch of them. Hopefully you are able to get one this season, Will. All right, make sure that's not the one with the torn up fletching, so we know we've got a good one on our first shot of the day. First arrow, we're gonna put it downrange and see what happens. As I briefly mentioned, there will be videos on the compound bow, my experience with that upcoming. So more content coming soon. It's very windy today. I've got my windsock on there, so it's probably not too bad for you guys, but it's definitely gonna be something we're gonna have to contend with for a practice session today. There you go. Nice first shot, about an inch high of my target. I'm going for, you guys can't even tell probably, I'm going for the top left dot. The wind is ripping right now. This is difficult. I think I'm gonna have to move the sight pin a little bit. I've been moving it around trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with it, and I don't think it's quite in the spot I want. I think it's high. I'm gonna shoot one of these arrows and see what it's like, just to get a gauge on it. As I mentioned right at the beginning, these are brand new arrows that should be pretty similar to the ones I'm shooting, but they're always a little bit different. So I'm gonna give this a test run. Yeah, my pin is definitely pretty high. So we'll have to mess around with that. Saw two of them while I was with Bob and Travis Yoder for Mentor Day. One of them was a beast and nobody even hooked it while I was there. Yeah, given the fact that they're so bright and people can see them and they're very desirable, people cast at them all day long, and they get very smart very quickly because of the fact that they everybody goes for them, so they see everything. All right, I definitely am gonna have to move the sight pin, so I'm gonna go grab some tools so I can do that here. bear with me for just a moment. I'm gonna go grab some stuff. Bram, why are you here?
What do you mean? I live like right here.
I got one of my friends from school coming up.
About to make this famous.
Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, this is live?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. I got this. All right.
Bram, don't shoot that.
20 yards. I got it.
Is that your brother?
Let's go home.
Outdoor fam, how do you know how to do you know how to adjust your pins? Yes, I do. Somehow
Just
I can't
your
read.
pants?
Pins.
Oh,
These,
pins.
Pins up there.
I can do that.
Did you just randomly think I might be here?
No, I just saw you.
Oh.
I was like, huh, that looks like Nolan. Huh, that is Nolan.
Alright.
Number 1 fan. Alright, how do I do this?
I'll get the recurve bow if you want to shoot that. I'm not letting you shoot that because if you do it wrong, it will explode.
Explode?
Yeah, this one has way less chance of doing it.
Huh. I have a bow at home. It's a righty though. Whoa.
So one of my friends here from school wants to shoot one, and I'm not going to let him shoot the compound bow. For those of you guys who shoot compound bows know, you know, if you do that wrong, that can be pretty bad. Your limbs can literally fly off, that sort of fun stuff. So we're going to give him the recurve bow. Got the bow stringer. Going to get this strung up, and I'll let him take a few shots. Do some
Is this a
armor
righty?
fly instruction. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's
I'm a lefty.
You can figure it out. It's
Yikes.
all about which eye you have open.
That's like throwing with your right hand if you throw a football lefty.
Yeah. Did you do the archery stuff in gym?
Nope.
No. Oh yeah, because you're in intensive. I didn't either because I'm in fitness and wellness. So.
This would be fun.
Yep.
I'm gonna clown for this.
Oh, you'll do it. I got my my sister and my uncle shooting relatively well in a couple minutes the other day.
Yeah, but they're like, we got the genes.
So recurve bow. I'll go grab him an arrow or two.
It's gonna like snap.
Here, I'll put you at 10 yards. That way you won't miss.
I will miss though.
All right, here I'll
How
show
far do I pull it back?
you. How long are your arms compared to mine? It's probably about the same. Yeah, you should be fine. Hold your arm all the way out and pull it back to like
All the way out.
right here.
Okay.
So put it on here. I've got
Above that.
on that
And
and,
then
below
yeah.
that.
Alright, gotcha.
Pull the 3 strings under. Keep both eyes open and
Test for
almost
the-
look down the arrow. Don't use the tip of the arrow as a reference. Kind of point it like your finger. Like point the whole thing at it.
that.
So it's like when you're pointing your finger, you're not pointing with the tip of your finger. You're like kind of thinking like a football, right?
Nope. No
You
idea.
gotta think about the trajectory overall. You'll figure it out. Don't let go of it like that.
Yeah, no.
All right, this is my friend Abram from school. He just randomly showed up. He lives a couple minutes away. He was driving by and saw me. He's gonna take a shot.
How do I thumb or something?
Here, you should do it the other way because it's designed for that way. You can figure it out. So left arm here,
Oh,
3
shoot.
fingers underneath.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, you
See?
just stole my arrow.
I'm like within 2 inches of one another on those last 2 shots. All right, Bram's gonna give it a shot. We'll see what he can do. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but you say bye, I have to go, no problem. There you go, he hit the target.
Okay, I'll take that.
We'll go down and show you the groupings.
Oh yeah.
Flip it around. All right, so here are my 2. There's Bram's. They're hard to pull out.
As you can see, perfect bullseye. Oh yeah.
You might want to go home.
I'll take one more try.
One more try. All right, Bram's gonna give it one more shot. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. Huh? I'm scared. You can try it if you want.
Alright, I'll chase the arrow afterwards.
Yeah, don't step on the case.
Gotcha. Gotta like test the wind.
There you go. He hit the target. Right down there.
Alright.
All right.
That.
Surprise guest. Took a couple shots. Yeah, sure. This is the fun part about lives, guys. You never really know what's gonna happen. He just showed up out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I think I sent the text to you. I can do Hershey. If you just get the tickets, then I'll figure out driving then, because I might take her back up the day before and stay over and then just be there. So we'll have to figure that out.
Or I guess.
Yeah, but I might already be up there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
These are yours too.
Yeah, these fly different than those. I'm trying these because
They
these
better?
are they're cheaper. So
yeah.
these are
Because
expensive.
these. Wait, these are expensive.
These are expensive. These are, you can't shoot these on the compound bow. They have different types of arrows. These are both for this one, and the
yeah.
green ones are for the compound bow.
Why? Because of this.
Yeah,
That's cool. Does that keep it like straighter?
yeah, it just goes through there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is okay.
those clouds look rough. Yeah, it's supposed to rain, so we might have to
6
stop due to
p.m.
rain. 6 p.m.
6
Oh, we'll be good.
You're welcome. And then it's supposed to rain for like the next 5 days, so we're gonna need a Noah's Flood Part 2.
Noah's Flood Part 2.
Alright,
All right, see you, Bram. Alrighty. Let's see if you guys can see right there. All right, so let me grab one more thing. I need the, see, over here, Ozarks, it looks good, but back behind me, it does not, so. And the wind's blowing that way, so it should be blowing away from us, at least for a while. Need to go grab my multi-tool so I can adjust the pins on that bow. I was messing around with some stuff, and I need to fix it. So let me go grab that, and I'll be back. Alrighty, got my SOG power access, and it's a 3/32 hex bit, and I can use that to adjust the pins on my bow. So the pins are quite a bit high, meaning I need to actually bring this pin up. I'll talk about the logic of that in just a second for you guys. All right, let's try that out. Bring you guys over here. We'll shoot at this one. There you go. All right. Move the case back a tad. Flip my release around. Take a couple more shots with this new pin placement. Now it's a little bit low. Take another shot just to make sure. I think I over adjusted it. Yeah, just a tad low. Move it just a sec, or just a smidge. Used the wrong word there. Where did I put the tool? Bring it back down. There we go. Try that out. There you go. That's pretty much dead perfect. Put another one down range. Make sure that's not a fluke, and you should be good. Oh yeah, those last two arrows are practically touching one another. Let's go. Actually, before we do that, let's shoot this new arrow and see how it flies in comparison to those last two. I think it's slightly lighter, meaning it should be slightly higher on the shot placement. We'll see. Oh no, it's pretty much dead in the same spot. Granted, this is only from 20 yards, so it might be a little bit different. Yash Siobhan, that's another school friend. Yash, I just had Abram Strickler show up in person. He just popped out of nowhere and showed up. So here's our shot placement. Yash was asking bullseye. Yes, I have 3 of them, in fact. So here were my first 2 after I adjusted that pin, and I said I over adjusted, so they were a tad low, and then I moved it back a little bit, and there you go. Boom, boom, and boom, all in the bullseye, just like that. How far out? 20 yards. We're pretty close right now. I'm adjusting pin by pin. I have one pin at 20, one pin at 30, one pin at 40. I'm literally just going to walk up to the next pin location, and I'm going to try that out, see if I can get the 30 dialed in. I was messing with some stuff, moving my sights around, so things aren't exactly in the spot they need to be. All right, I'm gonna move my case for just a second. I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. Great grouping, says Ozarks. I appreciate it. I'll tell you one thing. I love the recurve. It's super, super simple. The compound, like there's way more complex parts to learn how to use, but if you actually learn how to use them, you can get accurate way, way faster and way more accurate. Compound is definitely like a high-powered machine. The recurve is definitely like a simple thing. I love them both for different reasons, but tell me to shoot that same grouping with the recurve and it might look slightly different. That'd still be pretty decent, but not that good. All right, take you guys down here. Got our 3 different arrow types in this little holder here. Come down to 30. We'll try that. Let me go grab the compound. I'll be back. Alrighty. Not exactly sure what the status of my pins for this distance is, so I'm just gonna shoot a couple, find out. Pretty good, it looks like. It's just a smidget low. I'm not sure if that was me or my pin placement. I'm gonna put another one down there and find out. Wait a second. This compound, especially given the fact that it's a target bow and it's old, is really, really doggone heavy. Yes, I can, Ozarks. I'll turn you a little bit. There you go. This is like a 6.5, 7 pound bow compared to the recurve. The recurve's like 2. So not my draw and hold weight, but actually my front arm holding the bow out for long lengths of time, especially with this compound bow. My front arm starts to get fatigued faster than it does with the recurve. So I'm starting to take into account some of the things that Ozark Woodsman was giving me as advice, which is just take some breaks between shots. No need to rush it. I take 45 seconds in between every shot just to make sure that my front arm has some rest and I'm not getting super tired, because that's the arm that has to be out there stabilizing it the whole time. And if that starts to wobble around, then your shot's obviously not going to be very good. Myra, how's it going? Buying space. All right, another shot at 30 yards inbound. We'll see what our pin looks like. That one was probably an inch low of the bullseye. Pretty good. I'm not sure if the inch low was me or is the placement of our pin. We'll have to see. Yeah, pretty good. I pulled that one way left, which this is a bad habit I need to stop doing. When you hold the compound bow, you hold it with an open hand, and this bow tends to jump forwards a little bit. So I grabbed it right afterwards and kicked it left, but the up and down was really, really good. So one more shot, and we should have enough to confirm that this pin location is pretty good. Yeah, I do think the pin's ever so slightly low. Not the pin's low, but like the shots are going ever so slightly low. So I'm gonna adjust it just a tick, because that one was really good left and right, but it was still a tad low. Get out the bit again. Ozarks, let me know if you can see any better now. I have 22 people in here, 8 thumbs up. I appreciate it very much. There we go. Got our bit. Danny, how's it going? Alrighty. So, we are shooting on this pin, our middle one. Here, let's put it against that target so you can see. There's 3 of them. And we were shooting on the middle pin. And given that it's a tad low, I need to bring it a tad lower. All right, we moved it just a little bit. Ozark says rely on that wrist sling. Yeah. So the interesting thing about this is, as I was saying, this thing is so heavy that if I actually let it go, it doesn't tend to go forward and back too much. A lot of times what you want to do is let go and catch it on the wrist sling falling forwards. But the thing is so heavy that it just falls down, and then it kind of like torques this shelf into my hand. So it's kind of weird. I need to definitely rely on the wrist sling more, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that just yet. But I'm figuring it out. Don't think about it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, a lot of that comes with stabilizers, which this bow has none of those on it right now. So, yeah, I can work on that more at a later date. But right now, mostly just holding it with that open hand and not grabbing it immediately afterwards is what I need to do. All right, I'm gonna actually take one shot with one of our new arrows here, and you need a weight stabilizer. Yep. Not need, but it might be a little bit helpful. You can shoot just fine without it. It's the making sure you have a good follow through, at least in my scenario, that's the thing that would help. Unfortunately, lunch is over. I enjoyed this live, Nolan. Have a super day. No problem, Ozarks. I will try my best to tune into your live on the next 2 Thursdays. I'm super looking forward to those. Alrighty. I'm going to try one with our new arrow, see how it flies from 30. Alright, so here's where we start to see a little bit of difference. I said I thought it was a little bit light, and it flew basically the exact same as our other arrows did, our Easton 6.5s from 20, but this is high from 30. I'm going to shoot it again, make sure that wasn't me. If it is in the same general region, then we know kind of what that is. I wish I had a scale to weigh the exact grains. I'll probably get one at some point, but I just got them because they were super cheap, and I wanted to see if I liked them like at all in comparison to the 6.5s, which aren't like super expensive arrows, but they're definitely not the low end stuff. Yep. So that one flew pretty much the same exact height. So height was very consistent between them. They're actually not, my left and right on those two was not very great. They're probably 7-8 inches apart from one another, so that wasn't great, but they're not my typical set of arrows. My 6.5s, except for that one that I torqued my wrist on, they're real close together. So that's what I actually care about, because that's what I typically shoot with. Baz Web Gaming, how's it going? There's a guy down there shooting the traditional. We'll start working with our traditional up there in not too long. He's down there shooting. I'm gonna wait until he's ready, and then I'll go grab my set of arrows. I might as well fire a couple more while he's in the midst of his stuff. Turn you guys back this way a tad. There you go. Really good shot. I mean, those other arrows are mostly just a trial run, but with the 6.5s, which is what I have been using on this bow, I am pretty doggone dialed in, even from 30. My grouping from 20 and my grouping from 30 right now practically look the same. Jay Fishing, how's it going? Carbon Express is a good brand. Not sure the prices these days. Yeah, I'll look at them. I really like the 6.5s, but you can't find them in stores. Well, you can find them in archery stores, but like the other ones I just bought from Walmart, I'll have to look around to make sure I can find some good deals on these and keep them in stock, because I do really like these arrows. You good to head down? Yeah. All right. Take you guys down there. We'll go get our arrows. My hair's all over the place today. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably from the bike helmet. If you guys aren't familiar, I just was out meeting Bob from Anything Is Possible. I had my bike helmet on. I rode down the Schuylkill River Trail to go see him. Yeah, so these two were before I adjusted my pin a little bit. As I said, they're pretty good, but they're a tad low. It's real close together, those two. So I adjusted it up and then hit that one, which is just a tad high. I'm pretty sure that was me though. So really good grouping, honestly, given the fact that there was an adjustment of my pin in there. This is the one I torqued left. That was not great, and these are those two different arrows that I'm mostly testing out, and they're both high, so definitely weigh a little bit less than these 6.5s. Heading back, check Bass Pro. Yeah, I'm gonna go back out to some archery shops, and I know they have these orange 6.5s in stock, so I'll make sure to grab some when I'm out there next time. So yeah, we have two other people out here on the range now. Both are shooting some traditional bows, which is really nice to see. Most people out here shoot compounds, so it's good to see some other traditional shooters. Alrighty. Oh, I got one in there already. Alrighty. Real nice shot there. I'm flirting around the bullseye. I don't think I've hit one from 30 today, but they're all about that far from it. Another real nice shot. Not a bullseye, but yet again, really, really doggone close. Myra says, good job. I appreciate it. 18 people in here, 12 thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it for all the support. As I said that, a whole bunch of people just left. That's how life goes sometimes. Oh, I should not have let go of that because the wind kicked me this way, slapped the heck out of my arm. I've done that once already at this range. If the wind kicks your arm back this way into line instead of being offset, you'll slap the crap out of your arm and it hurts real bad. Huh. Not sure if you guys can even see it. Don't worry, it'll bruise up in like 5 minutes. I mean, it was a good shot, but it was a good shot. Oh man, there you go. It's starting to bruise up. Yep. This bow, it has no stabilizers on it, like Woodsman and I were talking about before. And it also, given how heavy it is, I have to supply a lot of arm force just to keep it still. So when wind comes, I wobble a lot with it. That's one of the biggest things with this bow. It's also For those of you who understand what I'm talking about, it is huge. The axle to axle on this bow is 45 inches, so it catches a ton of wind. That'll make you tough, LOL. Yeah. I mean, the first time I did it, it was because of my form. It's no longer because of my form. It's because I have it offset from my body, and then when the wind kicks, it comes back in line, and then the string slaps me. I mean, I'm not even sure exactly how I kept the pin on it. I must have done some like nanosecond adjustments or whatever. It was a good shot, but it slapped the crap out of my arm. So, oh, there you go. Starting to bruise up pretty good. Here, let's take the bow off. There you go. Nice. Ready to head down? Yep. All right. Alrighty. There you go. That'll be a nice one. It's the wind. The last couple times I've done it, it's due to the wind. I'll talk more about it in the video because I am recording every practice session. Good little grouping. So I dropped it low, interestingly enough. When I did that, I didn't pull it left and right. I just dropped it low. It's about 2 inches off of the target instead of an inch. That one is flirting with the bullseye. Sorry, you couldn't see. That one's flirting with the bullseye. So is that one. Pretty good group. Yeah. Nice. That's exactly what you want. I'll have to get that with some ice. I've had a bruise on my arm for like the last 2 weeks straight because just as soon as my my slap from doing it actually incorrectly healed up, I came back to the range with proper form, and the wind got me good. And then the one I just had from that one healed up, and now the wind got me good again. So, yeah, Homebound says, ouch. That is true. It hurts. All right, you know what? Why don't I take you down to 40? We'll see if our 40 pin's in a good spot and shoot a couple from there, and then we'll start messing around with the trad bow a little bit. Put you there. All right. Here is 40 yards, which I haven't said this yet because you guys haven't seen that video. My goal for the compound bow video is to get to a point to where from 40 yards I can get 10 shots in a set of 10 shots. I want them to all be within 4 inches of the bullseye, and I think I said I want 3 or 4 of them to be in the bullseye. So that's my goal. Hopefully we're at least getting somewhat close to that goal. I'm not exactly sure where my pin is. I'm double checking this. Left and right was not good. I was fighting the wind and I was wobbling a little bit, but up and down was pretty doggone good. So yeah, as I just said, this bow catches a ton of wind because of how long it is, and it has a real big cross section on it. Not much milling, so like wind can't flow through it. It just catches wind and moves back and forth. And you guys can't hear because of the mic cover, but it's fairly windy today. You might be able to tell from the skies that there's storms a brewing. That was pretty good. That was a nice one. Nine people in here, 14 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Yeah, there you go. Take a look at my arm now. That's exactly what you want to see. Yeah. I mean, it's at least good to know that it's no longer my form. There is a difference between recurve form. You're good. There is a difference between recurve form and compound form, ever so slightly. And you can get away with certain things on a compound that you can on a recurve, and vice versa. And I initially, when I first got this, I was shooting it exactly the same as the recurve, and because of that I was getting some string slap. Had to change my technique a little bit, and I never touch my arm on a shot unless there's a wind gust right as I'm letting go, and then this backside of the bow will kind of twist over and change the trajectory of it. It kind of twists in my hand a little bit like that, and it'll slap me good. So Myra's talking about the fact that she had a little string slap event at a camp doing archery as a kid. Alright, hopefully you guys can see me from this angle. My phone keeps trying to tell me that my power button's being depressed, which it is just ever so slightly. Alright, let's give this a shot. The wind is ripping. Another really pretty shot. I'm getting to a point I'm really happy with my shots from 40. If I can get a day where there's not wind, because my shots are kicking a little bit left. The wind's catching them a little bit. The wind's coming from this way, that way. I think the camera's reversed, but maybe you should buy a brace. It should help. You mean like an arm guard? If you're talking about an arm guard, I own one. I just refuse to use it because if you get reliant upon the arm guard to keep you from string slap, then your form is actually what's the problem. I've used them in the past and I don't have a problem with using it, but to ensure that I don't actually have a problem with string slap, it just happens occasionally, I'm going to continue doing this, and eventually I'll go back to the arm guard, but this is a good way to teach yourself good form. My form's good enough to where that was not a form issue, that was a wind issue, but every once in a while it can still be a form issue. Is that a horse bow?
Yes.
They're cool.
Yeah, no, I love them.
I think that one was a tad high, but another really nice shot. Take one more, then we'll go down and grab them. I mean, except for that one where I was fighting the wind, I think this grouping that I have here would apply to my goal for the compound video, so I'm in a good spot. I think I just hit one of my other arrows. This was a real good group.
Exactly.
Are you guys ready to head down?
Yeah.
He's got one more. Cool. This was a real nice group from 40. There's one of the ones that, excluding the one I was fighting the wind on, I think there's one that might be pushing the limits of 4 inches from the bullseye, but they're all pretty doggone close. And they're all left, which is the direction that the wind's going. Meaning without the wind, I think they'd all be in a really nice spot. All right, so this is 40. As you can see on the sign, I think the camera might reverse it, but take a look at this. These guys, they're literally all touching one another. Any knock damage? I heard some contact. I think it was just these two touching. But this one is like 4 inches away. Without the wind, I think they'd all shift over a little bit. This is the one that I was fighting the wind on, so that's our outlier. And then there's these guys, which are all really, really nicely grouped. These are all touching, and then there's this guy, which isn't too far away. There you go. I'm happy with that one. I'm actually very happy with that one. Nice way to recover from this wonderful little present. So we have two trad shooters down here. We have a guy shooting a horse bow and a guy just shooting a typical traditional recurve. So in the spirit of the, there's just a traditional bow spirit in the air, I'm gonna pull out the recurve and take a couple shots. I'm not sure I wanna, sorry about that. I'm not sure I wanna start the day at 40 with my recurve. That seems a little bit ambitious. But those guys, we got one at 10 yards, one at 20 yards. I might as well try the 30 yards, see what I can do. check the shafts for dents and cracks after contact like that. Yep, you're absolutely right, Ozarks. I took a quick, sorry about that. I had a button get clicked that I didn't want to click. I did it again, my bad. There you go, hopefully you guys are still with me. But I clicked a button I didn't want to click. I did a quick once over. I'll do a more thorough analysis afterwards, but I did not see any damage to the arrows. So we should be in a good spot. It was this one and this one. I'm not seeing anything on that one or that one. We should be good, but I definitely heard them touch one another. So, and they were touching when I got down there. So that horse bow this guy's shooting over here has some serious speed to it. I'll go grab a couple more of my traditional arrows, so that way we have enough to get a good grouping in. And I'll be back in just a moment. This is the most traditional shooters I've seen here.
Yeah.
I brought both mine out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I do both. So,
yeah, no, that's awesome.
So I'm like, I might as well start shooting that today.
I'm happy to see more recurves now.
Yeah.
All I see is compound. Nothing wrong with compounds, but I love the heart of the recurve.
Right. I mean, I've been shooting the compound for a month,
Yeah.
and from 40, I'm getting troops like that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you can do with them.
And I mean, I've been shooting at 30 for a while.
Yeah,
and
you have
I'm not getting groups like that.
Yeah, no.
So,
I understand.
guys. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
have a good one. All right, we got a couple more arrows for the recurve. This arrow is a little bit messed up. This might not be a great one to shoot on, but we'll try it anyway. So, woodsman, because you're one of the people I was talking to about this, I have a little piece of serving material on there now, so we're in good spot. I should probably take my compound release off if I'm going to shoot with the recurve. We'll put it on the tripod. Perfect. I don't have my glove on, but who cares? You can shoot with just your fingers. Yeah, this is 30, which is not something I'm super accustomed to, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, I've talked about this in a short. I'm gonna shoot with the gap aiming method. Yeah, this knock is a little bit damaged. We should be good. I'm gonna shoot with the gap aiming method, and I'm pretty close to point on from 30, so we'll see how this works out for me. There you go. That's exactly what I thought. So I can fix that real quick. I used to shoot a little bit more angled on here because of my split grip, so it'd be up a little bit higher. I need to adjust things a little bit based upon how I aim with the serving material. As I was talking about on my last archery live, I've switched from the split grip finger position to all three underneath, and things are a little bit different, so I got to get accustomed to that. These lighter arrows with the bigger feather fletchings are really catching the wind. That one would have been a little bit left anyway, but it's really going left. So I'm gonna try and make an adjustment for windage. Man, those clouds are really looking terrible behind me. There we go, that was a good adjustment. Yeah, these definitely, also these are going at much slower speeds. These are catching the wind at a ridiculously more amount than the compound arrows are, so I got to keep that in mind. One more shot. There you go. That was a good, once I got my bearing, that was a pretty good grouping. All right, ready to head down?
Yep.
Oh, I saw a raindrop. That's not a good sign. I felt a raindrop. That's an even worse sign. These clouds above us are looking pretty ominous. We'll have to see. I'm seeing some raindrops. If it starts to rain, probably gonna pop in the truck, see if it's worth waiting out. So obviously, as I was saying, it's much harder to get good groups with the recurve. Height on these two was pretty good once I got that dialed in. This was our first one. As I said, my height adjustment has changed a little bit due to the fact that I have changed up my grip on the string. This was the first one that got caught by the wind. I adjusted for windage on the second two and it was a lot better. So we're in a pretty good zone now. I'm feeling some rain, so we might have to escape to the car and hopefully it passes us if this picks up anymore. Hopefully it doesn't. I'll see if this guy over here is willing to show us some horsebow, because it's pretty cool. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I'm on a YouTube live. If I had some from afar footage, would you mind showing off the horsebow?
Yeah, here you are.
There you go.
Yeah, this is out of AF Archery, a company makes it. It's a great horsebow. They make them out of water buffalo sinew and tendon and all that sort of stuff. So they make it in more of a traditional style. But AF Archery has tons of different bows like this. If you guys want to check them out.
That has a lot more speed than most recurves.
Yeah,
too.
no, I think it's. I couldn't tell you exactly why, but I think it's something to do with the way the
yeah, it's pretty cool.
The arms are bent. But it's a fun bow. Check out AF Archery.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Those things are cool. I've seen videos of them, never got to see one in person. So the fact that he's out here shooting, that's pretty sweet. Alrighty. Continue messing around with the recurve from 30. Yeah, it is remarkable just standing from my point of view and watching, now that I have the experience with the compound bow, watching the trajectory at these longer distances of the recurve versus the compound. It's phenomenal how much arc there is in this versus how straight the compound goes. And that's a fairly slow shooting compound. A lot that shoots 240-ish feet per second. A lot of them nowadays get close to that 300 mark. And even still, it just goes way straighter than these do. These kind of arc a little bit. That just goes boom right there, straight. So I'm very consistent in the shot placement of those last two, but it's low a little bit and it's left, which is due to the wind. The wind has slowed down, so I'm not as far left as I was, but I still am left. Just check the radar for your area. Didn't see any storms or bad rain. Well, that's good. My friend came, who lives just down the street. He said it should hold off till 6, so hopefully he's right. I'll take one more shot. Yeah. So that one, I went back to my old habit of shooting a little bit lower because that split grip pushes the arrow slightly further down and angles it up more. So now that it's on the serving, it's a little bit different. All right, ready to head down?
Yes, sir.
I gotta get that dialed in. I should have done that serving spot a long time ago and just got dialed in on that, but now I'm dialed in on something that isn't quite right. And I gotta fix that habit. So these two, there you go. You can see these two very close, but I was aiming for this one. So wind and the different aiming spot messed me up, and this one, I went back to my old aiming point that I had established for when I had a split grip. So, oh my goodness, we got another traditional shooter out here. This is awesome. We got like traditional shooter heaven out here. Yeah, it's starting to clear up behind me. The storm clouds are going over that way, which is nice. Alrighty. I'm just gonna leave this right here for now. Alrighty. So these are very flat. This is like a very, it's pretty much dead 90 to the string. Whereas when I shot split grip, I'd push this down a little bit more and it'd be ever so slightly, let's see if I can show you. It'd be ever so slightly angled up like that. So when I shoot with the same aiming point, it shoots a little bit lower than it used to. So I'm gonna readjust and have everything shooting just a little bit higher. That wasn't bad. Still not great, but not bad. That one was pretty good. Slow down a little bit. Take my time on this next one. Flash Genius, future green arrow here, even wearing the color. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just enjoying myself and describing what I'm doing. I'm learning just like you guys are. There you go. I'm working the area, but my groupings that are within 1 or 2 inches of the bullseye with the compound are within 4 or 5 with the recurve. It's just a different thing. I'm also not accustomed to shooting this far with the recurve. Most recurves are really designed for within 25 yards or so, and 30's pushing it. 40's definitely a struggle. We'll go up there later and just show you guys how difficult 40 with a recurve is. There you go, we're getting pretty close. Ready to head down? Pop this up here. So we are still slightly left due to the wind, which is pushing them left. And we're kind of varied height-wise, but my first and second shot versus my second and third, you can see the progress. So first shot, low, second shot, high, and then my last 2 were these. So I dialed it in as the set went on. $18 people in here, 16 thumbs up. I appreciate it very much.
Not yet, so that's why I'm practicing. I go from here to here. And then, as soon as the group is better,
Maybe after this set we'll head out to 40 and just show you how ridiculously difficult shooting the recurve at 40 is, and then give you a direct comparison to what we were doing with that compound earlier. It's really a different game. These are super simple. You just put a string on it, go. Super simple to describe to people how to use. Costs less money to get into, but they definitely have a lower ceiling as far as what you can do with them. They're super fun though, so I highly encourage you guys to try both styles. That's a bullseye from 30. Boom, that's it. Could have been a little bit of luck, but I was dancing around the area and we finally got one in there. And that one went too high, so I'm much more inconsistent from 30. A lot of that comes down to the fact that there are no sights on the traditional bow, so it's a lot harder to get dialed in on a spot, you know? I I over adjusted for wind on that one. We'll take one more and head down there. Height wise, that was good, but we are pushing to the left. The wind picked up and caught it, pushed to the left. Ready to head down?
All right.
All right. I'm not getting any chats. I'm going to reset just for a second. It'll buffer for a second. I'll be back. There we go. I was just making sure it wasn't the chat that was malfunctioning there. All right, there you go. We got one in the bullseye. This guy right here. Pretty much dead middle of the bullseye. That was a real good shot. This one caught by the wind, pushed left. This one I over adjusted for the wind. And I actually don't know what I did on this one. So usually I can explain it. That one was just a bad shot. Everyone has those sometimes. All right, I think we're gonna take a couple shots at 40 and show you guys how difficult this is, just for the hay of it. This is not easy. Alrighty, 40 yards with the recurve. This is not gonna be pretty. Oh boy. We might miss the whole doggone thing. Especially given the fact that my aiming point is a little bit different, as I mentioned at that last one. It's a little bit different than it was because I adjusted where my knock was with this little piece of serving. So it's in a different spot. This might not be pretty. This compound bow, which we were shooting earlier, is much better designed for this long distance. We'll see what we can do with the recurve though. Yeah, that was right at the bottom of the target, almost missed low. It arcs so much, it goes way high and then drops down in there, where the compound shoots pretty doggone straight even from this 40-yard distance. Height was a lot better. The wind caught it, pushed it way left. Shooting from 40 is not easy with this style of bow. Now I over adjusted and went high corner. This is what it looked like the first time I came out here and tried 40 with the recurve, just all over the place before I got my sighting dialed in. And as I just said, since I kind of moved my sighting around a little bit, it's obviously going to kind of look like that again, all over the place till I figure it out. All right, so I'm aiming a little bit high. I over adjusted for that first low shot, and we're still all over the map. I'll show you guys. It's pretty crazy. Hang this up. There you go. Good to head down? All right. I have 71 people in here, 16 thumbs up. That's a really awesome number. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're just doing some fun archery, practicing. Yeah. Comparing the compound to the recurve today. Our compound group, for those of you guys who were in here earlier from this distance, if you fit your hands around it, our compound group would have been about that big. Pretty small group from 40 yards. This is what our recurve group looks like. We have one here, one here, one here, and one here. Not pretty whatsoever, but I'm hitting the target, and frankly, there's a lot of people who couldn't do that from this distance. In one of my previous shorts, I came out here and figured out some sighting for 40 yards with the traditional recurve bow. And it was all over the place before I got my sighting in. And once I recently changed some of the positioning of things for my traditional bow, meaning it's going to be all over the place for a little bit before I figure out what my new sight picture looks like. Got 55 people in here watching. I highly appreciate it. What do you say? Should we alternate shots between the recurve and the compound to show you the difference here? I think that'd be kind of fun. Got the compound arrows. Take a shot with the compound. And then we'll go recurve, and then we'll go compound, then we'll go recurve. Show you the difference. Alrighty, for those of you guys who weren't in here earlier, compound, much more technologically advanced, but more expensive, more complicated. We're gonna compare this directly to the recurve. Ooh, I actually pulled that one up, but left and right was really doggone good. That was actually not a good shot. Guts to stay outside right now with those clouds. It's raining in under 2 hours. Thomas, I imagine that's my friend Thomas from school. I'm probably gonna end this in about an hour, so. And the truck is literally, the truck is right there. So I think I'm good. If it starts raining, I have a pretty quick escape. Ready to head down?
Alright.
I'm gonna leave those two down there. I'm actually shooting a tad high right now. I'm not exactly sure why. I loosened up that pin a little bit. I wonder if it got bumped up. No, I think it's in the same spot. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now that's making it go high. But I'm gonna pull out the recurve. Those two left and right are really good. They're just high. So I'm gonna pull out the recurve and show you the vast difference in my ability to shoot. Sorry about that. The vast difference in my ability to shoot at this long distance with the recurve versus this compound. All right. Now we got the recurve. This is not going to be as pretty as the compound. I can tell you that much.
I'll do some potatoes. Yeah, I built some raised beds 2 years ago.
I didn't hit the target. That was not good.
It's nice. I make my own tomato sauce and stuff like that. My family's Italy,
So, interestingly enough, not exactly sure what's happening. Both those went low, a lot lower than the last time I shot at this exact distance using the same aiming technique. I think what happens, and I talked about this on a previous live, switching right between the compound and the recurve is really hard for me. The sight picture looks a lot different, my form's different, and I gotta get good at switching directly between them. I just start to like try and mix the techniques when I switch right from one to the other, and I can't do that. That is not beneficial, and that's not how you make good shots. So I'm gonna really dial in, make sure I have my compound technique dialed in, or recurve technique dialed in, and take one more shot with this, and make sure we hit the target before we go collect our arrows. There you go. We hit the target. It was real high, but yeah, switching right between them is really hard for me. I don't do it that often, even though I shoot them both. I usually pick up one, get dialed in on that, and then we'll like wait until the next day before I switch back over. So switching right between them is difficult. Let's take a couple more shots at the compound. I saved it. So the wind kicked my bow that way again, and instead of slapping the string, I just took a bad shot. The last time the wind kicked my bow, it kicked it this way, and I slapped my arm, which gave me that nice looking mark right there. That was earlier in the live. It's real nice and windy coming from that way to this way. It's been blowing all day, so I saved myself that time, but it was not a good shot for that reason. All right. Definitely the ugliest set of shots of the entire day. Switching between the two styles messes with your head a little bit. I had some that missed the target entirely with the recurve. There's those ugly looking clouds above me. And the compound was not great. I shot one real high, one real far left, one real far right. I'm fighting the wind heavily right now. Luckily, my 2 arrows that missed right below the target. They're right here. Got them. There you go. And then the ones that hit were still pretty ugly. That's my grouping. Not good. Here's our one recurve that we hit. So I adjusted from real low to real high. I'm over adjusting, obviously. Left and right, these two were good, but they were high, and the ones that were good up and down were bad left and right. That was a group that I wish I could forget about. But if you forget about them, then you don't learn from them. So, all right, someone stick it in chat. I see Stuart is in here from the Fisherman's Lodge. How's it going? Sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. I didn't catch that chat. What's chat say? For this set, should I go with recurve or compound? If I'm going with recurve, I'm stepping down to 30 yards for my sanity's sake. I think I'll do a set of recurve. I'm going to step all the way down to 20, get a couple good groups in. You know, why not? No, we'll try 30. 30's good. Got to challenge ourselves, you know? All right, we'll try 30 with the recurve. $33 people in here. Now it's 41. 18 thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right. It's definitely not pretty switching from the compound to the recurve. It messes with my head a little bit. Turn you that way. There's a bullseye. That's how we recover. $38 people in here. Thank you so much for sticking with me. The wind is just picked up a little bit, heavily kicking this way, so I'm going to try and adjust for that on this next shot. Maybe not. It just died down again. That one was pretty darn close to a bullseye too. I'm getting in the zone now. One more shot and then we'll head down. That was a pretty good group after that first shot. There we go. I'm heading down. That was actually a really good group once I got dialed in. I'm starting to figure out where my aiming point with this new setup needs to be. and it's definitely showing a little bit. Oh, that one that I said was a bullseye wasn't. It sounded like a bullseye because that area of the target is more worn in than others. It was about 1/2 inch low. That's close enough. We can count that one. But then these two, not too bad. And then we have this one way down bottom. That was our first shot. So starting to get a little bit better idea of where things need to be with this new setup with the recurve bow. It's always weird switching to a new setup in any sort of regard because you got to get your muscle memory retrained, all that sort of stuff. 41 people in here. I appreciate it so much. I'm just out here practicing. I'd be out here practicing even if there wasn't a whole bunch of people watching me, but the fact that you guys came out to support me is highly appreciated. All right, we're gonna do what I said is difficult to do. Switch over to the compound from 30 and see if we can keep a good grouping going. I just want to switch back and forth between them and get comfortable doing that because I think that's something that's kind of cool to be able to do. All right, compound in hand. Let's do this thing.
Trying to hit towards the bottom there anyway, so I'm kind of skimming it.
Bullseye. I knocked over my arrows, but it was a bullseye, so it's okay. Another bullseye. I held that one out there for, I felt like I was holding it for an eternity, but it ended up in a bullseye, so I'll take it. I was fighting the wind, I was wobbling all over the place. It took me forever to stabilize it. Oh, I ruined the grouping, guys. I ruined it. Kicked it way left on that one. I say way left. It's like 5 inches, but man, that was a really good grouping. 2 bullseyes and one that's pretty far away from the bullseye. I ruined it. All right. Ready to head down? Hooked on Reel Baits. How's it going? Archery is correct. I prefer a compound crossbow. Well, there you go. That's even more like powerful, quick, and easy to aim than a compound. That's even a step up. Okay, I lied again. Only one of those two is in the bullseye. This one is literally less than a pinky width away from being in the bullseye. That one's in. And then this is the one. This one's probably 6.5-ish inches away. I ruined it on that last one. I kicked it left. I'm fighting the wind big time, man. Yeah, fighting the wind. Some serious stuff right here. I have no stabilizers on that compound, and as I was talking about earlier, the axle to axle length compared to most stuff that's out there, it is an old bow, is huge. It's like 45 inches from axle to axle. Has no cutouts in it pretty much. Big cross section, so it catches the wind and moves a ton. Real hard to stabilize it. All right, here's what we're doing. Back to the recurve.
I have a Kawasaki KLR 650. It's kind of like a dual sport. So you can go off-road, on-road.
I hate this, switching back and forth, especially after I got a good group, but this is how you get good at switching between them. What do the stabilizers do? So the stabilizers, they add some extra weight, And they kind of make it like, you know, when you're trying to walk on like a balance beam, you put your arms out, they make it like that. It's harder for it to tilt, harder for it to move back and forth, and makes the whole process a little bit easier to keep still, especially in wind. So I'll look into some of that at some point, but for now I'm going to keep shooting it as is and see what I can do with that. Radek, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Hello from Poland. How's it going? Always saw those and didn't know what they did. Yeah, that's what they do. All right, recurve bow. Yes! Bullseye, baby. I just switched right back and got it. I'm really happy about that. Oh my gosh, if I can get good at switching between them, I would be very happy. Could have been a fluke. Let's do it again. I'm really doggone close on that one too. One more.
Yeah, it really was. And then I eventually started competing, and the competition got put a whole other layer of pressure on me, and I learned how to deal with it.
In the bullseye, baby. That feels good. That feels good. As I was talking about earlier, it's real hard for me to switch right between them, but I made the switch and it worked. We're gonna go to the compound bow, see if we can put a couple more in there. I'm not gonna aim at the same one because I don't want to break my arrows. I'm gonna aim for like the top right hand corner dot. So the one directly diagonally to the top right of it. Gonna flip my release around. Ooh. Not too bad, but I'm definitely fighting the wind. It is interesting because as light as that bow is, it does not catch the wind as much as this one does. This one's actually harder to keep in place in the wind than that little flimsy twig is. It's essentially just a stick. This is a big old hunk of metal, and it's harder to keep in place in the wind than the recurve is. That one was pretty nice. I actually think I might shoot a better group with the recurve than the compound this time around. We'll see. I think the compound group got outclassed this time. I think it got outclassed. We shall see. I'm pretty sure it got outclassed this time. I mean, I'm not sure I'm necessarily happy about that for like my compound shooting, but the fact that I shot that good of a group with the recurve, it's really doggone nice. Compound group's not shabby, but it's not as good as the recurve. Take a look at that. Compound group, not shabby. About 2 inches, about 1.5 inches. That one's probably 4-ish. So not my greatest group. As I said, I'm fighting wind a lot. Look at that, in the bullseye, 2 inches away. That was beautiful. All right, so I do need to, oh, that's not great. I do need to grab my charger. I also want to grab my GoPro so I can take a couple clips of this practice session with a compound for the upcoming compound video. So I'm gonna grab some stuff real quick and I will be back. take you guys over to the truck so I can chat with you as I'm grabbing my stuff. Oh, rain. I'm feeling some drops. There's the truck. And my charger. Doesn't need that. Alrighty. We're definitely getting some rain droplets here. That guy's shooting a real nice bow. We've got 4 people here right now. I'm gonna put you guys right here. The rain's starting to pick up just a tad. Hold on here. Crazy how there's 75 watching and I'm the only one in the chat. Yeah, it is kind of strange, but I'm glad you're here, Real Baits. Plug you in for a moment. There you go. Boom, we are charging. Drop this right in here. Bear with me. All right, we should be set up with the charger. The rain is dropping. It's falling out of the sky. Got the GoPro. Gonna take a couple more shots. Gonna make sure we at least get a couple clips with the compound in. Tay Albasu. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Good to see ya. Skeeter, how's it going? The rain might kick us out here shortly, but we've been having a really nice day at the range, making some good progress. Got some real good groups going today with both the compound and the recurve. Alrighty, head back out here. Get the GoPro set up as well. The rain might kick us out here shortly, so we got to get at least a couple GoPro clips before we go back to the truck. How's it going? Got a bow check? There's that bow check that looks like that. I'm shooting an oldie. This is a PSE from '96.
It was funny because with the MMA.
You must have been in shape.
Yeah, no, I was in the best shape of my life.
That was a good shot. 91 in here watching. I appreciate it so much. Rain's starting to pick up just a tad. We might have to go back and hide in the truck here shortly. Ooh, that was not a good shot. I kicked it right. My good shots with the recurve are like 9 inches off. My bad shots with the recurve. My bad shots with the compound are like 5. So, skull face fishing. Yeah, we've had over 100 people in here on live. I think that's the first time I've broken 100 on a live, at least concurrent viewers. So that's super awesome. This spot on my arm, which the wind kicked the string into earlier in the live, is really starting to swell up now. Rain's picking up. We might only have a couple more shots. All right, it's raining now. All right, I'm gonna stick you guys in the truck because my phone, it has less waterproofing than the GoPro does. I'm gonna go grab my stuff. I'll have you guys looking out the window so you can see me as I'm going to grab my stuff. Hide you guys in here. Brad's in here. Bear with me for a moment. I'm getting you guys into a safe, dry place. as the rain starts to pick up. Oh, sorry about that. Working on it. 85 people in here even as I'm moving the camera around. Alrighty. Alright, I'll have you guys watch me out the back window, or out the window, as I'm getting my stuff. Just chuck stuff in the back seat, keep it dry. The rain might pass. I'll be back again. All right. 90 people watching, even as I'm running around like a crazy man. All right, hold on. Oh, whew. You can see it's raining. All the drops all over my shirt. Hold on here, I'm gonna move the camera for just a second. Put you guys right here. All right. Woo. Well, I'm not sure if this is going to pass or not. I'm going to give it a couple minutes to see if it passes. I would be out there still shooting. I don't really mind the rain, but I'm worried about the phone and how that will fare in the rain. So, Real Bates says, where you at? I'll check radar. If you look at Limerick, Pennsylvania, that's probably your best bet. Oh man, whew, it is hot in this car. It was it was approaching 80 today. It's been sitting in the sun for as long as this live's been running, and without the AC or the windows open, it's pretty doggone hot in here. Definitely glad I brought water along. Oh man. So you said you just started compound shooting. How long have you been shooting recurves? So the recurve I'm shooting, let's see if I can pull this off without destroying anything. Hold on. There we go. The recurve I've been shooting is this guy right here. This is made by, what's the brand again? I believe it's oh, here you go. Stemler Archery. Stemler Archery, and this is called the Tartar. Like tartar sauce. It's a 40-pound, 60-inch AMO bow. And this was my grandfather's. It was made in the 1960s. And he shot it off and on. And I always would shoot it when I was up at his house. Just kind of for a couple years, I'd shoot it every time I was there, super sporadically. And then they moved in like September of last year. And when they moved, he gave it to me. Oh, my GoPro's out there still recording. I should probably go grab that. Once I'm done talking, I will go stop my GoPro. Yeah, he gave this to me, and I'm very appreciative of it. I've been shooting it for a while, and since I got it, 8 months ago, something like that, 7-8 months ago, I've been shooting it fairly regularly. So 7-8 months consistently, and for probably 4-5 years inconsistently. So, all right, I'm gonna go stop my GoPro and I'll be back. I'll also check how much rain we're getting. The rain is practically stopped, so I'm gonna head back out. Let's see if we can get you guys out of the holder here. Real Baits was correct. It was gonna pass. All right, I'll get you guys back in here. There you go. Back in the holder. Go stop the GoPro, get you guys set up at our little spot here, and I'll bring all the stuff back out. Bear with me as I adjust the tripod. It'll probably make a whole bunch of noise for just a second. All right, there we go. We got it. Wow. There you go. Now that it's cleared, it feels nicer. The temperature is a little bit nicer now too. Stop my GoPro. I'll go grab the bows and I'll be back. Am I correct in saying that that's more target style?
Right. Yeah.
This is a target style bow from way back in the day.
Yeah, it is. I have a couple like that in my garage.
Yeah. I was given that one, so
Okay.
I've been shooting recurve for a while, and I'm
Right.
one of the type of people who I always like to try new things, so I was given this as a maybe I'll try
Yeah,
it.
why not?
I want to go bow hunting someday, but obviously not with this thing, so this is just a test the
I
water.
have a full archer shop in my house.
That's pretty sweet.
Oh. Are you shooting there? Are you shooting there?
Yeah.
I'm back on.
Yeah, I don't mind. 72 people in here, 23 thumbs up. I'm gonna go grab the, not the compound, the recurve, and I'll be back. There we go. All right. We need a couple more clips of me shooting the compound for the sake of the video. So I'm gonna start up the GoPro again, shoot a couple more with compound, and then we'll go back to switching back and forth. Alrighty. Real nice day out. We've had a lot of people in and out of this range. We had 2 guys shooting traditional recurve bows like I've got. We had the horse bow guy. We had me, who's obviously shooting both recurve and the compound. And then we have a guy shooting a target style compound, which is what this is. Much more expensive, much more modern target style compound over at the 40-yard target, except he's probably shooting closer to 50 because he's backed up a little bit. He's getting real good groups. So, yeah. Second small wave is coming. Oh boy. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too terrible. I plugged the charger in, which means that the microphone cover isn't covering quite as much of the microphone. Hopefully it's still at least decent. Check on our battery life. All right, we're in a good spot here. That was a bullseye. Nice. I feel like I should turn the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Taking a break. Dang, bro, you're killing it with this live. Yeah, I'm getting lots of people in here. I'm surprised. Last time I was out here, I was sitting consistently at like 4, 5, 6 people. Now we're sitting consistently around 60 or 70 people in here. Just goes to show you, sometimes you never know. Just keep putting out content, keep putting out what you like to do, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. It doesn't reflect really that much on what you're doing. It's really the overall trends. If you're growing overall, then that means you're doing a good job. One particular video doesn't really mean much. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Yeah, super fun stuff. Take a couple more shots of the compound. All right, so that one, it wasn't too bad, but I had a little bit of string contact, and that was my fault. The last time I had string contact, it was not my fault. The wind kicked it, and the string went bang right into my arm as I was releasing, which was not fun. That time it was my fault. I was very leaned back, which brings the bow very in line with your arm. I'm not sure why it was leaned back. Usually you want to lean over a little bit. Yeah. I'm not sure why I did that, but a little bit of string contact, and I'll just do that. I just won't do that on the next shot. So there you go. I'll take one more. Good shot.
Good.
You're shooting real good.
Not the best. Not today.
Better than I could do for 50.
Practice.
Yep. I guess you've been shooting that for a while, I imagine.
My whole life.
Yep. I've been shooting the compound for like a month and a half. The sky up there's still not looking great. That might be that second wave that Real Bait is saying might be coming through. You're probably going to have like 400 total viewers at the end of this. Usually I have 400 total viewers on the lives that average about 10 to 20 viewers, so I'm imagining this one might even be a little bit higher than that, hooked on Real Baits. Not one to sit here and speculate. Oh, I didn't even show you the grouping. It was actually a pretty good grouping. I had one just outside the bullseye, 2 in, and this one was like 4 inches away. That one was not a great shot, but I think that was the one that I kissed my arm with the string on, so that probably makes a little bit of sense. I'm not sure why I was leaning back so much on that shot, but you know, those are the things that muscle memory will take care of as I continue to focus on my shots and my form throughout the upcoming months, years, centuries, millennia that I continue shooting. All right, take a couple more shots with the compound and then switch back over. This is the wrong arrow. This is the right arrow. I might have an explanation on why that one kicked so far to the right. This is one of my, I'm going to test it out just for the sake of knowing. This is one of my fletchings that has a little split in it. And I think that might have caused a little bit of an issue. We're going to shoot it again. If the same sort of thing happens, then I know it was the arrow and not me. actually don't know. One more, then we'll go down there and check it out. I was leaned back on that one. Luckily, I didn't have string contact, but I don't know why I have a tendency. I think it's because this draw length is probably like a 1/4 inch too long, so I have a tendency to lean back a little bit, but this bow doesn't have any more adjustment, so I'm just going to have to live with the fact that it's a tad too long. I think it's like 28.5, and I think my draw length is actually like 28.25. So yeah, I just got to make sure I don't lean back. Just focus on that and we should be good. Oh, that was terrible. That one was not good. I was fighting the wind. I mentioned it before. This bow loves to catch wind, especially with how heavy it is. I don't have great control over it to begin with, and then when it catches wind, I move left and right a lot. Yeah, my arm's definitely not going to be happy. It's really starting to swell up from that shot I took early in the live where the wind kicked and pushed the string into it. I was very consistently right of the target on this grouping. These two were pretty close, and then these two were not. So yeah, that was not a great group, but we're towards the end of the shooting session. We've been out here for an hour and 52 minutes. Someone could probably figure it out in chat, but I'm sure I've put close to, 80 something shots between the two bows downrange today. So fatigue could definitely be a real thing. For those of you guys who saw, once we kind of had a little warm-up session in that 40 minutes to an hour into this live, we were putting, with both bows, some really, really good groups down there, and I was very happy with the progress. Alrighty, here's what we're gonna do. Recurve from 20, which is something I'm more familiar with. As I mentioned earlier, it's kind of tough for me to switch back and forth between the two styles. So this might be ugly for the first couple shots, but we're gonna see. I felt another raindrop. Could get ugly. We're closer to the truck than we were at the last one. That's a positive. I'm gonna try and see if I can turn you guys so that you can see the target in the frame. Put you guys back here. All right, Ozarks is headed back to work. I appreciate you watching. We're good. So inside of 20 yards or inside, I shoot intuitive. Outside of 20 yards, I shoot with an aiming method. I've explained this before. Essentially what that means is inside 20 yards, I'm looking down the entire length of the arrow and thinking about where it's going instead of using the tip of the arrow to aim, and judging upon like how far away you are from the target. You will have to put the tip of the arrow above where you're shooting, below where you're shooting, so on and so forth. Inside 20 yards, I'm using intuitive, which is hard to explain, but it's actually easier to do, which probably is why it's easier to do, because you don't have to actually explain it. You kind of just feel how it works. So I'm shooting intuitive. Left and right wasn't great. Up and down was real good. Daniel says, what state are you in? Pennsylvania. That was a good shot too. I'm gonna work my way around all the different dots, see if I can get close to all of them. That one I was shooting for the bottom middle dot. Shoot for the top middle dot. A little bit high, but left and right was pretty good. I can fire off shots with this much more swiftly, especially when shooting intuitive. We'll go for the middle dot again. A little bit left. The wind definitely caught it. For those of you who don't know how this works, the fletching straightened out the arrow. The arrow kind of went like this. It went and then kicked this way and then straightened back out, but that kick that it had pushed it to the left a little bit. I'm fairly confident in saying that one would have been dead on perfect if there was no wind. It's to the left, but up and down is really, really good. I know I have a lot of new faces in here. I've had a really good viewership today. Can one of my faithful people, by the way, I know Real Baits deserves a moderator status, so I'm going to give him that. There you go. Can one of my faithful, nope, my bad. I want to add you as a standard moderator. Add as moderator, standard moderator. There you go, Real Baits. You're now a moderator. Can one of you guys in here who is one of my faithful people give me a subscriber count? Because I know I probably ticked up at least a couple from this live. It's been doing really well, and I appreciate you guys hanging in there. We'll go for the middle again. A little bit high, left and right was really good that time. 694, we've definitely ticked up a couple. We're at nine new ones today, so I appreciate it. Super close to that 700. If we could get it by the end of that live, that would be, by the end of this live, that would be awesome. All right, one more with the recurve, then we'll go down there and grab it. I'm now the only one left at the archery range. I got here before anybody else, and everybody else has gone and went before my session was over. There you go. I'm flirting with that. That middle dot, but we haven't hit it. Let's go down there and take a look. It's 4:08 p.m. here in Pennsylvania. So the wind still is blowing. It's not as noticeable, but as you can see, all of these are to the left of the target. This one is pretty good, but it's still a little bit to the left. This one was really good. I was aiming for that bottom dot. This one I was aiming for the top dot and went high. So like not a perfect grouping. Usually I'm a little bit better from 20, but this is also at the end of a practice session. I got fatigued. My fingers are starting to wear out a little bit. I have not been using the glove. Maybe I will start. No, I won't, because I've got this on. So I'm just gonna rock with no glove until my fingers start to give out. But yeah, there's definitely some fatigue going on. But I'm still shooting decently. Daniel says, good job. I appreciate it. What do we say? Do another set with the recurve, or head out to 40 and do one with the compound? What do we think? Give me an opinion. I need an opinion from someone in chat. Daniel, you're new. What do you think? You want me to keep shooting with the traditional bow from short range, or head out with the compound? Real Baits has an opinion. If Daniel doesn't give us an opinion, we'll do what Real Baits says. I'm gonna give a 10-second countdown for Daniel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Daniel says compound 2. There you go. All right, I'm gonna leave the recurve here, head all the way out to 40 yards with the compound, and give it a whirl. I have more arrows in this thing than I ever have before. 3 different types. All right. What do you say I set up you guys behind me so you can get a glimpse at the targets there? It's a long ways away. All right, can you guys see me? Yes, you can. All right. I'm gonna take my time. As I mentioned earlier in this live, I'm doing a video all about my experience, my first experiences with a compound bow, coming from shooting the recurve for a little while. I've shot that for longer than I have this. This is fairly new into the arsenal. And my goal for that video, I'm not going to end that video about my first experiences till from 40 I can shoot a group that I set a goal for. And I don't exactly remember what the wording I used was, but I think it was 10 shots. I want all the shots to be within 4 inches of the bullseye, and I had a number, I think it was 4, that I wanted inside the bullseye. So we're at the end of a practice session. It's not going to be as good as it was probably earlier in the session, but this is going to give us a good bearing on where we are for that goal. Hooked on Reel Baits is 701 subs. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much. We're working towards that second level of monetization. We have the first level. My birthday is in literally 1 week from today. Yeah, today's Monday. My birthday is in 1 week from today. And I'm going to get it set up so that on my birthday I can reopen my memberships under my own account, not a parental account. I had to switch it over and there's a waiting period. So it's been a while since I've had my channel memberships up, but in 1 week we should have them back up. If you're interested in memberships, I'll release some stuff on my community page about memberships. I'm going to have the lowest level at 99 cents a month, which gets you some good benefits, members only videos, members only lives, that sort of stuff, some behind the scenes content, that sort of stuff. Then we're going to have a second level, which is going to give you some extra perks, and then a higher level yet. We're going to do some member only appreciation stuff, give you guys some gifts. I'm working on making some handmade leather goods, which is an upcoming video. Probably my next long form video that's going to come out is the leather goods video. I'm working on learning how to 3D print lures. I'll give you guys some of that, and some of that is going to be exclusive to members only to appreciate your support of the channel. Anyway, done yapping about that. My point is, memberships are coming back soon, and once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be able to start working on that second level of membership. So your support by subscribing means a lot, and means that once I get that second level of monetization, that means I have more funds to work with and make more cool videos for you guys. Because anything I get from the channel, I'm just going to put right back into the channel. That's my goal here. We got some fun fishing road trips coming up. We obviously have a compound bow, which is new, lots of accessories to work with. So any extra funds that go to the channel will be used for some fun stuff. All right, first shot from 40 of this set. Let's see what we can do. There's no wind right now, so this is a good opportunity. I shot it way left. That was definitely my fault. I kicked it right at the end. Up and down was really good, but I kicked it left. One thing I do find interesting is that if I kick it left or right, it's often not my arm, it's my hand. Like I twitch up here, and the left and right doesn't move at all. If it was my arm here, I feel like it'd move up and down a little bit. It's most often my hand. All right, let's get a better shot than that. Now I kicked it right. I'm over adjusting. There is definitely some fatigue for those of you guys who were in here earlier in the live. We were putting some really good groups down there at 40. I think a couple warm-up sets, maybe 1 or 2 warm-up sets from 20 or 30, and then jumping right in is going to give us our best shot when we go to make this attempt of actually getting our grouping for the video. I think I should do it fairly early in the practice session, because now I am starting to fatigue a little bit, getting twitchy, not making as good of shots. There we go, that was a good one. Hooked on Reel Baits is asking about a birthday stream. I'm not sure, we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what my schedule on that day is supposed to be. So this is interesting. I was talking a couple minutes ago, Muskie Fishing birthday stream. I was talking a couple minutes ago about how this draw length is a little bit long for me. And I just noticed that right here, I hit a place where I'm comfortable pulling. I'm not sure if you guys can even see this, but there's actually a little bit more. And I think that's what's been messing with me in the last couple shots. I think I'm actually pulling like a 1/4 inch short. The draw length's definitely a little bit long. I'm getting this string replaced soon. I'm not going to talk about the details. It's very confusing because the string lengths listed on the specs for this bow and what the actual string length of the bow, of the string that's on here, are not the same. So I'm going to see, maybe when I get that string replaced, I can use a little bit of that to adjust my draw length a tad. I'll have to figure out how that works, talk to some people, but see if I can drop the draw length a little bit with the new string, because the actual cam, this is an old bow, doesn't have any more adjustment, can't get any shorter, and I think it's like a 1/4 inch too long for me. That was a good shot, a little bit high. I'm being a little bit more lenient with myself now than I was earlier in the stream. My grouping is nowhere near as good as it was earlier, but I can feel that I'm tired. So we're 2 hours and 7 minutes into this. For those of you guys who are just joining me, we've put probably close to 100 arrows downrange today. I'm getting tired, not going to be out here too much longer, so my grouping isn't going to be as impressive as it was earlier. That one was not good. We'll put one more down there. I'm definitely, you guys probably can't tell in the video because of how far away you are, but like, I'm very twitchy in my front arm right now. I'm definitely getting tired. I'm gonna do an old school fishing challenge for 100 subs here soon. Sounds good, Real Baits? I'll try and join if I can. Make sure next time you see me on a live, let me know if you figured out when that is, and I'll see if I can stop in. Yeah, this group's not pretty. I'm definitely getting tired. I'm probably gonna call it quits here soon. That one was good. I just need to calm down, take my time in between shots, especially at the end of the practice session. Here's the new strategy. When I start to get twitchy, I'm actually going to put the bow down in between shots. That scared me a little bit. All right, 50 people in here still. I'm not sure I want to end a live when there's still 50 people watching. Yeah, this grouping is not pretty. Let's go down there, check out this grouping, and see if us taking a break in between our shots can get us better on the next one. As I said, for those of you guys who were in here around the 1 hour mark, we were making some really good groups, even at 40 yards with the compound. And we got a couple real good groups at 30 with the recurve. But I'm definitely tired. This isn't a bad group, but this is not a group that this is not a group that's gonna be acceptable for our goal of what I want to get to with the compound. So like, there's nothing that's super far away. This one's the furthest away. This one's like a whole foot. That's the one that I twitched really bad. The rest of them are like decent. This one's kind of far away. This one's about 3.5 inches away from the bullseye. This one's about 4.5. This one's actually pretty bad. This one's like 8. This one's like 4. This one's like 6. So like, it's not, that was not a great group by any means, but like, after 100 arrows, using both the recurve and the compound, switching back and forth, not an ideal practice session. I think I'm okay with that. especially given that I think that draw length's a tad too long for me, I'm doing pretty well with it. $26 people still in here, 23 thumbs up. That is one of the interesting things. I've had over 100 people watching concurrently several times throughout this live, and I only have 23 thumbs up. So 23 of you guys who are in here watching are my firm supporters, the people who are liking what they're seeing, and then the rest of you guys were just passing through, I suppose. We've had over 100 people in this live several times. Ozark says you're doing good for sure. Ozarks, I'm not sure if you've been popping out or in, or you've just been quiet for a while, but you were in here earlier when I was making some real good groups, and I'm definitely faltering a little bit now. I'm getting tired. I'll keep going for a little bit longer, but not too much. Alrighty. Take my time. Get a good shot down range. Then take a break. Been here the whole time. Sweet. I appreciate it. Alright, yeah, I'm going to take my time, get a good shot down range, put the bow down, take a break, then go back to it. I'm just going to take my time. Terrible shot. I was leaning backwards too much, which I was doing earlier, and had a little string contact, so I tried to fix that. And then when I did that, my draw length dropped a little bit, and so I had to reopen it, and then I was leaning back too much again. I should have just put it down and started over, but I didn't think to do that, so. You're recognizing your mistakes and correcting them. Good. Breaks are important for consistency. There you go. Yeah, no, I recognize the mistakes that I was doing on that shot. I just didn't have the thought process to put it down and then pick it up and try it again. So, whatever. Good shot. There you go. That one was nice. Your front arm is moving, what I could see. Yes, my front arm is moving because what I'm doing is I pushed it back this way because I was leaning back and I opened up too far, which puts my arm in line and makes it so you string slap. That's not why I did that string slap, but it can be why you string slap. So I moved it back this way, and then I had to stabilize it after that. So if you make big moves, it's harder to stabilize it. You want to kind of draw it, keep it in the same place that your initial draw is, and just make tiny moves. Once you make big moves, it's kind of like you go like this, and then you wobble a little bit before you settle in. So that's why my front arm was moving. If I draw into the correct position, I won't move as much. I know you're getting tired. The little mistakes are showing it. No worries, though. Yep. I'm probably going to take a couple more shots with the compound, and then I'm going to be done for the day. What do you think? We'll take 3, 4 more? We'll do 3 more, and then call it. I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but it certainly does say something about the fact that I'm getting tired. I'm not by any means bad by that, because I got here before anybody else, and everybody else who's been here during the time I was here has gone and went. They put way less shots downrange than I did, and only now am I starting to falter. So I guess that's good. I realistically would have done a shorter practice session if it wasn't for the fact that it was live, but you know, being able to consistently shoot and go through the times when you're getting tired means that when you're not tired, it's going to be better. Working through those hardships is what kind of gets you to a place where you can shoot really effectively. So, all right, here we go. Another shot. I actually have no idea where that one went. I think it was to the right. Yeah, it's right about where that other one was. Ozark says you're really doing good. Don't sweat it. Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been through this with many things enough times. I used to be a martial artist, and you'd run through certain drills like 80 times, and you're like, you get to like number 50 and you're like, why the heck can't I do it anymore? And your reflection upon the end of practice doesn't reflect on like what your actual skill level is. And I shoot slingshots, I've shot firearms before. The same thing happens with like every shooting sport. You get less consistent after you start to get tired. So it makes sense. All right, let's do it again. 2 more shots, including this one. Good shot. Not as good as earlier today, but still pretty good. You must be doing something right with the stream. Usually streams like this, I drop in for a second and leave, but I've been here for a while and don't plan to leave. Well, there you go. I appreciate it. Usually when you come in, you stay for a little while. By the way, hooked on real baits, because I think you're the only one in chat who was here when this happened. I went back to the scene of the crime today, where the sign slap happened, and I checked it, and it is indeed over the road. So I was right. The sign overhangs the road by like that much, and my mirrors are about that wide. Back up so you can see it, about that wide. So my tire was probably about this far from the edge of the road, perfectly fine, and my mirror just nicked it ever so slightly. And yeah, the sign is right on the edge of the road. I went back and checked to make sure I wasn't a complete idiot. This is our last one of the day. Last arrow. Could this be a bullseye? We have 2 bullseyes from 40 today. Same. First time I've seen him got me hooked. Well, I appreciate it, Daniel. I try and keep it upbeat. I also try and explain it for all levels of people. I explain every part of what I'm doing, so that way whether you've never done what I'm doing or you're a pro at it, you can kind of figure out what I'm doing and kind of understand all the different aspects that go into it. So I'm really good at explaining things. I never claim to be a pro, but I can explain exactly what I'm doing, which helps people learn. All right, last shot of the day. Contact the county about that. So the interesting thing is it's a park. It's not a real road. It's like an exit road from a park. It's almost like a piece of the parking lot. So I'm not sure there's really anything you can do. Just like the same way there's not really traffic laws in parking lots. They're kind of just suggestions. There's not really like specific laws about that. It's part of the park. That was good. I aimed for the upper right-hand dot because I could see it a little bit better. With my arrows and how tore up it is, I can't actually tell a lot of where that middle bullseye dot is on this particular target. So I just shot at the upper right-hand one, and it was pretty close. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing that the bullseye down there is tore up, and that means people who shoot here are at least doing half decent. All right, shot our last arrow for the day. So we're gonna work on closing this out. The sky up there, it still doesn't look pretty. Contact the park manager then. that might be an idea. Alrighty. So not a bad group. It's kind of a wonky looking group for a variety of reasons. This is our last group of the day. I have two that I accidentally, I think it's these two, that I accidentally shot up at this dot instead of the middle dot. And then one that I had purposely shot there, which was pretty doggone close. And then these were both shot at the middle bullseye. Left and right, they're a tad left, and they're a little bit high. So definitely a little bit inconsistent on that last grouping. But yeah, not half bad. Here's what I was saying. I might be able to push that back in. This middle bullseye is real tore up. I'm not exactly sure why it looks like this. But yeah, it's like all messed up. Push that back in there, I guess. See if I can get that in there. Close enough. Yeah. What I am gonna do before I leave is, I made a short about this recently, and I know some of you guys probably saw it. I was using my set of pliers and pulling out, like farming some field points from the wood around these targets. When people miss, a lot of times you just have to unscrew the field point and salvage the shaft without the point. And I've noticed that with a pair of pliers, I can just pull a bunch of them out, save a couple of them, repurpose them. And I think it's kind of fun. So to close out this live, we're going to see if we can collect a couple field points from these 20 and 10 yard targets. I did the 40 and 30s, but I have not done the shorter range ones. So I'm going to grab my pair of pliers, which are in my pocket. I forgot they were in my pocket. I'm going to grab my pair of pliers, and we're going to see if we can pull some of these out. I feel like there should be less points in the 10 yard targets than any of the other ones, because missing from this range is a little bit harder to do. See if we can pull out some points. Take off my release, put it on the tripod. All right. Yeah, not near as many points in here as there are in the other targets. There's also typically more in the bag targets because they're nicer to pull the arrows from than there are these. So more people shoot at these. Like me, like you haven't seen me shoot at any of the layered targets much today. Yeah, there's definitely not many in here. All right, we're gonna head up to the 30 yard target. Have anything planned for April Fools? Not yet, but I'm thinking about it. It is tomorrow, so. All right, yeah, this one definitely has more than the previous target. Alright, well I got this one. This one's not of much use to me, but at least I got one. There's another one. That one isn't of much use to me either. There we go, that's our first one that's half decent for me. This one, usually most tips are 100 grain tips. I think this one's a little bit smaller, but that's a usable tip. Here, you guys can't even see me. I keep disappearing off screen. There you go. Oh. Oh. Some of these just don't want to come out. I use 125 grain on my crossbow. That makes sense. They're usually the higher like poundage bow you use, which crossbows are like the highest types. Usually recurves are less than compounds, which are less than crossbows. You want to use heavier arrows and heavier grain tips. Ugh. Yeah, there's a lot of them in here. Some of them just don't want to come out. It's easier to get out the tips from the 40-yard target than any of these, because the further it is, the less like speed it has when it gets there, so it goes in less. These are pretty in there. Those are really in there. So we got one. We have one usable field point. What multi-tool is that? I'll show it to you in a minute there. This is a SOG Power Access. They're really cool. They've got this gear system, which allows for more leverage. They've got, I have a bit in my pocket. I'm not sure which pocket I put it in. Possibly my right pocket. Yes, my right pocket. They've got a bit driver, an easy access bit driver in the head of it. They've got a protractor in there. They have another bit driver. It comes with a bit kit. They have like a long reach bit driver. They have flatheads, Phillips. They got a file. That's not the file. That's a serrated blade. They got a straight blade, can opener, bottle opener, saw, file. This is the one I keep in my truck. I used to keep a cheap Amazon one in my truck, and I used to keep this in my room, or no, I used to keep this at my workbench in the garage, but I've noticed that I use the ones in my truck way more, because sometimes I need to adjust things on the fly and I want a better quality tool. And this is the one that I keep in my truck now. So, yeah, keep this one in the truck. I can use bits and stuff on it. I can use the really good pliers on it. I'm gonna do, at some point, I'm gonna do like a truck loadout thing. I'm working on getting a whole bunch of different gear in my truck where I'm gonna store it, that sort of thing. So I have a whole bunch of outdoor gear and just general preparedness gear in my truck. And this is one of the things. I really recently switched this over to being in the truck and switched the cheap Amazon tool to being in the garage. But yeah, I really like this tool. They are kind of expensive, but I think they're a really good, worthwhile tool. I think just having a good multi-tool is a good investment for really anybody. All right, let's see if there's any in this target that I can pull out. Man, some of these are in there. Oh man. Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get any of these out. We might have a harvest of one. I guess a second wave didn't hit. No, it did not, luckily. All right, and then this is a broadhead target, but there's lots of people who shoot field points at it. So there might be a couple in here. Looks like the people shooting at this target don't miss much. which I guess makes sense. Oh. Ah, that one's probably not coming out. No. Yeah. All right. We got a harvest of one today. I clean those up and then use them. I've got a whole bag in my compound bow case of ones that I found cleaned up. Well, it's not in the bag right now. I dumped it out. So, bring you guys over to the truck. And we'll start getting packed up. I'll leave the live running as I get packed up because I somehow still have 75 people in here. And yeah, we'll slowly get packed up and head home. Soak them in salt and vinegar, then use a wire wheel. I typically go the manual route and use Scotch-Brite pad. Alrighty, so here you go. Oh boy, I really shouldn't have dumped these all out. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so I have this is like half of them that are in here. 95 people, man. I'm trying to go home, man, and you guys keep coming in. These are all, no, that's not true. Some of these I just bought, but like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So like half of the ones that are in this pile, about that many, this is how many I bought, and these are all harvested quote unquote from these targets. I need to find a good container for the bits. I have 2 hex bits that I use with my multi-tool to adjust my bow, because I always have the multi-tool on hand, so I just keep, instead of keeping full Allen wrenches, I just keep the hex bits of the proper size to adjust my bow in the bow case, but there's not a good place to stick them. Just for you, Real Bait. There's a man behind you. Maybe off in the woods somewhere. This is a public hunting zone off in the woods back behind me. As you can see, Real Baits, the mirror looks completely fine, except I'm gonna get you real close. See that scratch right there? Boom. That is where the mirror hit that sign. So I barely nicked it. On my previous live, there's a park that we were driving through. I had to get over to the one side of the road, further than typical, because there was a car coming the other way, and my mirror nicked a sign. Come to find out now, because I was like, that's really close to the road. Come to find out, someone get Lewis out of here. He's trolling. Give him a timeout, and I always like to give people a second chance. If he comes back in here and does it again, feel free to boot him. But I like to give people a second chance. So if you want to give them a timeout, then feel free, but don't boot them just yet. And that's typically my policy for moderators. Anyway, what I was saying, I thought the sign was real close to the road because I know it was on the road and my mirror still hit the sign. I went back today and checked it out. And yeah, the sign overhangs the road. So definitely wasn't my fault. The sign's actually, I can be driving completely on the road and still hit the sign. Anyway, fun stuff. Gotta go grab the bows and such. I'll carry you guys along. There's nobody here. So hopefully I actually stopped my GoPro the last time I was using it. I did. There you go. That'd be annoying if I just had it running for like a whole hour. I've done that before, but it was on purpose. For those of you guys who haven't seen my 1 hour fishing video, that entire video, except for one little cut, which if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil why I cut it. You'll have to see for yourself. That video, the entire thing was filmed on 2 GoPro clips, and I had like an hour and 10 minutes of footage, and it was only 2 clips. So that was a fun video if you have not seen it. Instead of cutting the camera, I just sped it up. I put it on like 4 times speed and saw how many fish I could catch in an hour, and I humbly say that I think it's a pretty big number. I feel like Hooked on Real Baits has probably seen that video. I'm not sure about everybody else in the chat. Alright. Took my GoPro out fishing for the first time on Friday, and I stopped the recording before I caught a fish. Yeah, I have it on, I believe it's called the Firefly mode, to where if you just hit the button, it'll start recording. So sometimes I'm already hooked up, but at least I know I can hit the button and it's on. I usually leave it running and cut, which obviously takes more time in editing, but it's typically worth it to get that cast to catch on video. People really seem to appreciate that. All right, we got a gigantic bundle of arrows. 3 different types. These, which I was just testing out today. My compound arrows and my recurve arrows. You forgot to hit the button. Huh. Would like to join your fishing live. Daniel, that sounds great. The next time I have one, I will post it up on my community page, and I believe you are now a subscriber, so you should be able to find that in your subscription feed. I believe I post a live pretty much before I post a community page update before every live I do. I always make sure to give a warning beforehand so that people know what's going on. I don't really tend to be the spur of the moment when it comes to lives. I also usually update you before my next video drop, long form video drop. Shorts I will just release sporadically, but lives and videos I'll update you beforehand. So I've got lots of fishing content on there already that you can check out now that you are part of the community. I'm not sure I can carry the bow and the camera at the same time because I'm just going to keep carrying you guys back and forth. Whoa, sorry about that. We got the bike in the bed of the truck because I biked down the Schuylkill River Trail earlier today to go say hi to Any Fin Is Possible. A lot of you guys in chat know him and his channel. All right, let's get the traditional gear out of the way. Oh, I felt another raindrop. Let's hustle up quick and get some of this stuff in the case, so if it starts raining, I don't have an open case. $57 people still watching. This live is insane. We're up over 700 subscribers thanks to this live today. We gained at least 10, or at least 15. Had to do math for a second. Today's my day off from school. I have an in-service day today. I don't need to do any more math for right now. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, because I know a lot of you guys in chat are, I turn 18 in literally 1 week from today. I'm a high school student in my senior year, and I will graduate at the end of this year. I'm heading to Penn State for mechanical engineering next year. So that's a little bit about my schooling background, because a lot of times when I mention school, people ask me about it. So I answered some of the questions before they even came up, hopefully. All right, let's go back and grab the bow, first bow. And then we'll go back and grab the other bow, get the case closed up, de-string the recurve bow, and then we'll get on our way back home. This live has been absolutely phenomenal. I got 26 thumbs up, 51 people still watching. We peaked at like 116 concurrent viewers, which is awesome. And I'm super glad you guys joined me today. I kind of did this on the spur of the moment. I knew I was going to come out here and practice. I just didn't know for how long. And I decided why not make it a live, and look at what happened. You guys probably hear that clinking. Sorry about that. That's my release hitting the leg of the tripod. All right. This guy goes back in here. Take off the release from the tripod. Who all's still in here? We got 35 people in here, sticking it out with me to the end. We think we've got all the compound stuff in the case. I'm gonna close it up. Hopefully the wind isn't too terrible right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live. I definitely did. Stick these in the cab because that's where I have the other recurve arrows. Not sure why I have them in the cab, but I do. I just vacuumed the truck today and washed it actually, so it should be looking nice and pristine for you. Look how nice it is in there. I've been working on, here, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Been working lately on figuring out some truck organization and some stuff to have in there, and you can flip up the seats in the back. So on this side, this is a chair sent to me by Ozark's Great Adventures. He was in here earlier. This is sent to me by Randy, and I have that under the seat as well as an umbrella. That's that seat. And then on the other side, I've got some stuff, fun stuff as well. I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. This is going to be in a video coming this summer. I'm working on getting some more stuff, getting the truck loaded out with lots of fun gear so I can go on adventures and know that if something happens, I've got some stuff in the truck that can help me out if stuff goes wrong. It's cool to see that you're shooting wooden shafts. Not too many people shoot those anymore. Outdoor fam, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. They're fake wood. They're carbon. Yeah, sorry. They just have like fake wood imprint or printing on the outside. Maybe I'll get some wood arrows just to make you happy. Actually, the compound bow, I keep saying compound bow, the recurve bow, when I first got it from my grandpa, I did shoot wooden arrows. So I have shot wooden arrows. I'm just not shooting them now. All right, let's show you what's on this side of the truck. Nice and pristine, as I said, because I got it vacuumed today. And then on this side, I have extra windshield wipers, the snow scraper, a sun shield, just basic car stuff, and then bungee cord. And I have a Seahorse micro case that has some like duct tape, electrical tape. I've got some first aid stuff in here, and then this is like a waterproof rugged box, so if I ever need one for an adventure, I have one right in the truck and just dump the stuff in the back of the cab and then use the box if I need it. And then there's a spotlight over there which came with the truck. This was my grandpa's truck, and unfortunately he has Parkinson's, so he can no longer drive it. When I came of driving age, he gave it to me. Super appreciative of that. This is a great vehicle. It's a 2006 Ford F-150, and it has fairly low miles. They had 3 vehicles back in the day, so this was the one this one was for hauling stuff, and it never got much daily miles. So it only has, I put like 9,000 miles on it, and it only has like 120 some thousand. So when I got it, it was like at 112 or something like that thousand miles. It's older than me, but it doesn't have a ton of miles, which is nice. I have a set of binos over there. I have in here, I keep my multi-tool. There's a little survival fishing thing made by K-Bar. I'll talk about this in future videos. This thing's pretty cool. I've got a couple tools, got a couple water bottles I keep in here. I'm just working on loading out the truck to make sure that I have some stuff for when I go on adventures. I know I have some backup equipment just in case I need it. Yeah. We got to grab the recurve bow and take care of that. So let's go get that. This has been an awesome live. Thank you guys for stopping in. I know I thank you guys probably more than I need to, but I want to make sure I give appreciation to the viewers, because my biggest goal on YouTube is to have a cool community. I don't care how big I get as long as my community's cool. So the fact that you guys are willing to come here and hang out on a live video, which, you know, live videos, there's no editing, so I can't make the best production ever. It's just me hanging out, doing my thing, being as natural as I possibly can be, because there's no editing. I can't change anything. It's just me being me. And the fact that you guys are still willing to come here and hang out with me is super, super awesome. That's the type of community that I love. All right, so recurve bow unstrung. Put that in the cab as well, because that's where I brought it down. I have the compound bow case in the back of the truck with the bike, and then the recurve stuff goes in the cab. I think we might have another archer pulling up. All right, let's put the last of our stuff away. So I think whoever was asking this, I could probably scroll back and find it. Anyway, it was a while ago, asked me about an arm guard. I do have one. It's not like I left it at home. It was sitting just in the back of the truck. I refused to use it because, not that I have bad form, but if you let those bad form things that cause string slap get accustomed to you by saying, oh, the arm guard will take care of it, I don't need to worry about it, then that's how you develop bad form. So I just, for the probably past 2 months, I just haven't been wearing an arm guard because, you know, if you shoot well, there shouldn't be much need of it. Occasionally you'll get a slap, but shouldn't be much need of it. So I haven't been wearing it. Huh. I didn't even realize I had stuck this in this bag, but for those of you guys who watch my channel frequently, I have my sling here. We could, I wonder if we could go do some slinging in the field before we leave. That'd be kind of fun. We might do that just because why not? Alright, I gotta pop up in here, readjust the bike so I can fit the bow case in there. Let me do that for a moment. There we go. Alright. Put the rest of the stuff in the cab. And we'll take a couple throws with the sling just because it's here, and I know a lot of you guys in chat, especially Ozarks Woodsman, likes the sling, so I have it. Might as well chuck a couple rocks around. I'll be back, bear with me. All right. This hole, oh, I showed my license plate. I luckily learned that showing your license plate doesn't actually matter because it's public information anyway. So, I mean, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Alright, let's find a couple good rocks that we can throw. This whole area is gravel, or rocks anyway, so I can find a couple and then we'll just go chuck them. Well, that's a big one. We'll try it. I don't know how that one's gonna work. Alright, we can always come back for more. We'll see how this works. Ozarks Woodsman says primitive weapons are super cool. I agree. Alright, we're gonna pop on over here. I'm gonna do it right here. Oh, this is a perfect little spot. There's a car coming. Wait for this car. I know him too. At the beginning of the live, we had one of my friends show up randomly. That's one of my other friends. I know him too. All right, walk over these high weeds. This is a perfect little spot. Safety zone. There's a warning over here. We'll go read it and make sure we're not doing anything unlawful. It says, okay, here we go. It is unlawful to discharge any firearm or archery equipment in this area, shoot at any wild birds or animals, chase or disturb wild birds or animals. We are good. We're just throwing some rocks, not at any particular target. So we should be good. Do it right here. Put my pile of rocks right there. For those of you guys who've never seen me do this, this is like what David in the Bible used to kill Goliath. It's like a pouch. And this, you swing it around, and based upon where you let it go, it throws the rock out of the pouch. It's pretty cool. Chuck a couple of rocks with it. Now, that's when it hit the ground. They have some serious air time. I want to try this big one. This one looks fun. All right, let's see if we can get a good throw of this big one. I'll let you know when it hits the ground because I can see it against the sky really, really well. Ooh. Now, that one was a very line drive shot. I'm just going for distance right now. This one's a pretty big one. I'm gonna try my overhead shot. Now, I get some good air time. There's a couple different techniques you can use. Typically when I'm doing for distance, I go underhand like a softball and let it go at the bottom of the swing and rip it upwards. But I'm gonna try a couple over the head like a lasso shot. That was a good one. Now, they're going probably 300-400 feet out there. Oh, that one came out of the pouch. This one might be tough. Oh, we got it in there now. Now, we're getting some good distance. This is a nice big one too. We got two more. I really should be heading home after this. So 2 more rocks, well, including this one, 3 more rocks, and then we're heading out. Now, that one went seriously far, but it curved off to the left. Where'd my pile go? There it is. 2 more. This one's a little rock. I'm not sure how this one's gonna do. Now, I can track them really well against the sky. This is cool. All right, last rock of the day, then we're heading home. This one's a very odd shape. It's like long. Now. Yeah, fun stuff. Simple paracord. I made this, didn't buy it, I made it. Super fun stuff. I'll have more sling content coming on the channel throughout the spring and summer. I really like doing it. A lot of people on my channel really like seeing it just because it's fun and unique. Yeah, I'll be doing more with this. So if you like this, make sure to subscribe because I'll have more. I'll have more archery stuff. All the things we've been doing today aren't just a one-off thing. I do them consistently. So if you like what you saw today in this live, subscribe because I got more. We're gonna head back to the truck and close out the live. I'm gonna walk around this way because it looks a little bit easier to do. This is a nice slinging zone too. Usually there's not, that's actually really good slinging zone. Usually there's not a ton of areas where you can just chuck it real far. So I should bring the sling every time I come out to this archery range because there's that little zone there. If I have some brightly like painted rocks, I could probably go out there and get some pretty accurate distance measurements. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Walk across the road without getting hit. Boom, we're good. Daniel says, awesome. I'm glad you liked it. So this down here is where the actual like hunting area is. This is actually a really cool area. I've only ever used the bow out here. Never explored the rest of it, but it's a pretty cool area. I'm gonna try and eventually, this is a more far off goal. I'm eventually gonna start to do some hunting. I know not everybody is a huge fan of hunting because they think it's unethical, like the animal is being mistreated. Especially it gets a bad rap because there's a lot of people out there who hunt and just do it to like get an animal on their wall or whatever. But I am going to start doing some of that stuff, and I'm going to make sure that I use all my skills to use the most of it. I'm going to use the fur for fly tying. I'm going to use, if it's a buck, I'd use like if it's like a buck of a deer. I got a big tick on my leg. Let's make sure I take that off. Big tick. Let's get rid of him. There's another one on this leg. There you go. Took care of the ticks. But if it's a buck, I'd use like the antlers and make like a handle for a homemade knife. I'd use the sinew to do bushcraft projects. I'd obviously cook the meat. I'd probably try and render down the fat and make candles. I'd try and use all of it and you know, learn a whole bunch of different outdoor skills through that experience. So hopefully people aren't put off by that. I know there's also lots of things that you have to do to make sure that people, if you're using firearms, understand the safety aspect of it. So I have to look into that, make sure I understand how to do that before I do something like that on the channel, but that will come eventually. I'm pretty sure I have another tick somewhere on me. I can feel him, but I'll get that in a minute. So I would do that, but I have to wait a little bit. I got to get prepared for that properly and also make sure that I know how to present it effectively on the channel. But yeah, this will be a cool area if I wanted to do some hunting stuff. Obviously, I have that opportunity here. I can do slinging stuff. I can do archery. It's a really cool area, and it's not far from my house. Yeah, we'll definitely be back here in future lives. We've already done a live. Yeah, we've already done one live from here. This is our second. And as always, I really appreciate you guys coming in here. This was an absolutely fantastic live. We had a ton of viewership, a ton of interaction. The archery was really good. We got some really good shots down range today. We've got some really good groups, and we were here for quite a while. This live has just hit 3 hours. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me throughout it. I'm gonna head out. I'm excited for dinner. I've got some work to do. Unfortunately, I do have some calculus work to do that I've been putting off for this entire weekend. I was up hanging out with my girlfriend, and now today I've been all over the place having fun adventures, cleaning out the truck as I was talking about earlier. So I need to actually do that calculus work and do a whole bunch of other stuff before the night's over, and I'm looking forward to dinner as well. So I got all that to look forward to this evening. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was a great part of my day. I see love our toy pups, one of the awesome members of the Anyfin community, of which I'm also a part. Just came in. We're closing it down, but if you want to take a look on the replay, there was definitely some awesome moments throughout this live. With that being said, I thank you guys for watching. I don't think I've ever closed out a live with over 30 people still in chat, but I'm gonna do it. So I appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks for hanging with me. This was an awesome live. We got up over 700 subscribers. I'm super appreciative. Until next time, I'll see you guys. I'm out.